Hey guys, welcome to the Do Good Mavericko podcast, episode number 48. Why a paid community might be your ultimate escape plan. If you want to escape the matrix of the 9 to 5 rat race, escape the job, jail of boss, you know, there's a lot of talk about freedom from the rat race, freedom from the 9 to 5, freedom from the kind of slavery to debt and a job, stuff like that. And if you want to escape, building a paid community might be your ultimate escape plan. Paid communities is really gaining popularity these days, especially after Alex Hormozi invested into Skool, the Skool platform by Sam Ovens. But paid communities have existed for several years online, but they really seem to be trending these days. And apart from the whole school thing, I don't think this is just a short-term fad at all. I think this is truly something that is here to stay. It reminds me of an argument I heard by why is his name escaping me? Jordan Peterson. How could I forget his name? But yeah, he was talking about the modern school system, and he had a bunch of negative things to say about it. And then he compared it to online courses, because there's a lot of solid online courses out there, and people were saying things like, yeah, if you can just learn the same things that people go to college for, if they can just learn it for an online course, then what's the point of the whole going to college thing and going to all those fancy schools? What's the point if they can just learn it from an online course? But then his argument was that but that's not what school is about. People go to school, but that learning, knowledge, education part, that's just some of it. That's just some of the whole. That's just a part of the whole thing. And actually, very big part of the whole going to college and extra education stuff is actually the social part, the camaraderie, the social life. That whole thing is actually a massive part of the whole college thing. So when it comes to online courses, that part is usually missing almost completely. So that was one of his big arguments against online courses, because that social part was missing. And of course, you're not going to beat the quality of real life face-to-face interactions by having an online community. But having an online community, in addition to a course, for example, can really take it to a completely new level. But that's one version, where people that usually used to sell online courses, now they're kind of repackaging it as a paid community and selling it that way. And that can be done in many cases. That's brilliant. But that's absolutely not everything. People that only view a paid community that way has a way too narrow focus, and in many cases they have missed the whole concept in many ways, because it's so much more. But yeah, why a paid community might be your ultimate escape plan. Like I said, it's trending. really trending these days. And building a business in something in a market that is growing is a lot easier and faster and cheaper than building a business in an established market that is stagnant and not growing or even decreasing. But when it's a growing market and it's really trending, and like with paid communities, to say that it's trending might in some cases even be an understatement, because there are literally thousands of category niches, industries out there that really would need and want a paid community and be a member of one, but it doesn't even exist. So then you also have, when it comes to supply and demand, there are many options out there where we have big demand but no supply. Then you can come in with the supply and yeah. So trending, one reason. Another reason is you can launch it. You can launch a paid community pretty much for free. If you have access to the internet and you have a laptop and a smartphone, yeah, then you can launch a paid community. Yeah, pretty much for free. That's exciting stuff. And you can launch it quickly. That's another thing. When it comes to many things online, when you hear a lot of these online marketers and experts talk about things, yeah, you can launch a funnel in two days. You can launch an online sales funnel in 2 days. Yeah, people talk about that all the time. Some people do it, but isn't it strange when you go to hire a funnel builder, even the ones considered professional ones? Almost every single one of them say they need at least 2 weeks to build one. So there's a lot of hype out there when people talk about how easy and fast things can be done. But when it comes to paid communities, oftentimes it can actually legitimately be done fast as well. You know, the last few weeks I've interviewed several success stories of people that are running paid communities that is making at least $10,000 in profit per month. And one of the things that really shocked me and surprised me, I was not expecting it to be that way. That was how quickly several of them had launched. One guy, he got the ID for a paid community. He called his friend up on the phone, and I think it was the very next day they launched it, or they made a plan for it the next day. No, they launched it the next day. They got a few members because they did what I see a bunch of people doing when it comes to paid communities. They have the vision and the plan, the rough plan for the paid community, and then they're kind of selling that in the beginning without any content or without almost anything. They're selling the vision and the plans for it, and they're launching it with a low price. For example, if their price they're planning to sell it for is like $100 per month, they might start at like $10 or $20 per month for the first members. And what makes it really enticing for the first members is that once they get that price for like $10 per month for those first members, they will have that price for life, or for as long as they stay a member. So even 2 years later, if they charge like $100 or $200 per month, those first members that got it for like $20, $10 or $20 per month, they will still have it at that price for life, or for as long as they stay a member. So that makes it even more enticing for people to join early on for that price, you know. But yeah, he and his friend, they launched. I think it was the very next day from when he first got the idea. They got a few members, and then they made a deal with a list owner, an email list owner, and he promoted it as an affiliate. He promoted a workshop they made. He promoted it as an affiliate, and they got like hundreds of members in a few weeks. But yeah, that's just one example. Another lady I interviewed, she launched her paid community, promoted it. She did not use any list owner and an affiliate deal, but she promoted it through YouTube and TikTok. And once she started, her YouTube and TikTok account was pretty much at zero when she launched. The first month she made like $7,000. And in the second month, at the end of the second month, she was at like $14,000 per month. I guess that was revenue, but $14,000 per month, that's probably like $10,000-$12,000 in profit per month. So yeah, they did it without kind of getting stuck in all that planning and tech stuff. So yeah, it's trending. You can launch it pretty much for free. You can launch it fast, and it's predictable income, because if you're selling this as a monthly membership, a monthly subscription, once you get a few members, and if you do a good job, that the churn is not high, that people are not canceling often, that people tend to stay as a paying member for many months. Once you get just a few dozen members, your income starts climbing pretty rapidly. And the thing is, even if you start selling your memberships by one-on-one, maybe you're sending emails, DMs, calling people, talking to people on booked calls, whatever it might be. Let's say if you have 50 members after month one, once month two begins, then you still have 50 members, or maybe a few cancels, maybe you have 45 members, but you're not starting at zero. With other business models that are not subscription models, if you made $5,000 one month, the next month, yeah, you kind of start at zero again. Okay, you have some skills and network, but you're kind of starting at zero every month. But when it's a subscription model, if you make $5,000 the first month, okay, now you have $5,000 in MRR, monthly recurring revenue, or monthly recurring income, monthly cash flow. So once month two starts, if you make the same amount of sales in month two, now you're at like around $10,000 per month, and you can keep snowballing it and growing it brick by brick, so to speak, that way. So even if your numbers are pretty small, once you're building something that is monthly recurring income, it's very different. And when it comes to investors and stuff, usually when they're talking about a business that is a subscription business, they are usually priced or valued a lot higher. They have a much higher valuation than normal businesses that are not a subscription business. So that should tell you something as well. So if you do things correctly, you might be building both monthly cash flow, monthly income, and net worth at the same time, if you're building a solid community that can be sold in the future. But that might not be your plan. But still, when it comes to a subscription business, It's a lot easier to get, you know, predictable monthly cash flow, predictable monthly income. It's a lot easier with a subscription business. That's one thing. Another advantage is that depending on how you do it, a paid community can also be built where the members are the product, so to speak. That the value of the community is the community itself, depending on the niche and the way you do it. But yeah, another advantage and another reason why a paid community might be your ultimate escape plan is that you don't need to be an expert in order to do it. That's a huge trap that a lot of people fall into when it comes to making money online, online entrepreneurship and stuff like that. You know, myself, I failed for years, and I'm absolutely not an expert. But when looking back at my own journey and all the stupid mistakes I made, one of the big ones was the trap of what should I call it? The trap of kind of finding out that you know almost nothing and you need more skills, and then kind of falling into the trap of not not paralysis by analysis, but kind of paralysis by learning, or paralysis by thinking you need to be at a certain skill level before you can do anything. A lot of people that have plans of making money online, they have some entrepreneurial ideas they want to execute online. And once they start, you know, the Dunning-Kruger effect. Once you know almost nothing about something, you have really high confidence. They call it Mount Stupid. You think your skill level is really up high up here, but it's actually almost at the bottom. Once you know almost nothing, your circle of knowledge is so small that you also know very little about what you don't know. And once your knowledge increases, your kind of circle of knowledge increases, and it also makes you more aware of the things you don't know. And after like a few days, a few weeks, a few hours, whatever it might be, you find out, oh snap, I know almost nothing. And then you go from kind of Mount Stupid and you go down to, oh, I know almost nothing. And gradually, as you get more and more knowledge and experience, you kind of climb back up and you get more knowledge and confidence again. But somewhere along those lines, I think people kind of get stuck in not applying things, not doing things. Once they find out, oh, I should learn a lot more about this. And learning is great, acquiring knowledge is great, but it tends to kind of freeze people into thinking they need to know more about this or that. And while they are spending years trying to improve their skills and stuff, because there's a lot of talk about skills these days. Skills is important as well, but you know, sometimes it's better to hire people with skills or make some kind of deal where you can get help from people with skills instead of learning it all yourself. But yeah, along those lines, people tend to spend a lot of time learning and figuring things out themselves. And what oftentimes happens is that during that whole journey of learning skills and stuff, people kind of just look to the right or left and oh snap, there's a 19-year-old girl on Instagram posting videos about cooking or exercises or whatever it is, and she's promoting health supplements or an online course or whatever, and she's making tens of thousands of dollars per month in profit. And here I am not making squat. I know a lot more than she does about marketing, but here I am. But she did things. She had an audience, she built an audience and promoted an offer. As simple as it sounds. But like Robert Kiyosaki says, when shit hits the fan, you better start selling. Or like Guy Kawasaki says, sales fixes everything. And even if you're learning things, it's great if you can launch immediately and learn as you build. And that's a pretty unique thing about paid communities is that it seems to not be a few exceptions, but it seems to be the case that a lot of people are actually launching paid communities and growing them as they learn instead of getting stuck. So that's another reason why a paid community might be your ultimate escape plan. Another reason you can do it as a side hustle. You don't have to quit your job and then start it. You can, of course, just launch it while you still are employed in a job and gradually grow it until you have such a high income. Maybe a way higher income from your paid community than you have in your job. And then you can quit your job and scale it even faster. Stuff like that. But yeah, I could go on, but there are plenty reasons why a paid community might be your ultimate escape plan. And I get so excited when it comes to the people I interview that have already built a paid community that is making at least $10,000 in profit per month, because it basically confirms that the dream of freedom is possible. There's a lot of fake experts and fake gurus, as they also call them, online. A lot of people claiming a bunch of different wild stuff and claiming to be experts. And also a lot of outright scams going on as well. But it's kind of as it is with the health supplements as well. When it comes to health supplements, there's a lot of outright scams. Like, take 2 pills a day of this and you will lose 50 pounds of fat in the next 4 months. Crazy stuff like that, outright scams. It is a lot of it when it comes to the health supplements industry. But also, there are health supplements out there that are changing lives. People that have an extreme vitamin D deficiency, they get vitamin D and it turns their lives around. Or other nutritional deficiencies, whether it be vitamins, essential oils, nutrients, whatever it might be. And it's kind of the same when it comes to online courses and stuff. That there was a lot of scammers out there and sketchy stuff, but there's also some legit ones. But yeah, I'm not an expert at all, but I have interviewed several real life success stories. So if you want to learn from those people, if you want to learn from their successes, as well as connect with a bunch of other people that are also building their own paid community, you can check it out on communitycashcows.com. And who knows, maybe you'll build your own cash cow, your own community cash cow. It's fascinating to think about how fast things can change in this day and age. Maybe you have failed for years, like I have. It's wild the amount of stupid mistakes I've made over the years. I should be ashamed of doing all those silly mistakes. Looking around at people younger than me making millions of dollars. And also probably looking around at a bunch of liars pretending to do stuff as well. But yeah, some of them are legit. But yeah, despite all that, despite how much maybe you yourself have failed, maybe like me, you have failed for decades or for years. But the thing is, in this day and age of the internet, things can change fast for the better as well. That's the cool part. You know, like the saying goes, nail it, then scale it. Once you find out what works, you can do more of it. And once it works, you have nailed it. If you then just scale it, you might be off to the races. And once you start making some money, it tends to make almost everything easier. Things is easier with money. Oh yeah. Like the old lady that I interviewed, she barely knew what TikTok was. TikTok, isn't that something that my grandchildren is dancing on? Something like that? Or maybe I can, oh, you can, yeah, you can use TikTok for other things as well. Ah, interesting. So she started to use TikTok and YouTube as her main platforms where she was growing an audience and promoting a paid community. She launched a paid community and started pretty much from zero with TikTok and YouTube. Within 2 months, she was at $14,000 per month. I guess that was revenue, but like $10,000 profit per month in just 2 months after launching. Exciting stuff. So things can change fast in this online world. It's not just the negative, where things can go bad fast, but things can also go good fast. And yeah, I just want to emphasize that part about not having to be an expert. I interviewed, I hope I'm not pronouncing his name wrong, Jim Cochran. That interview was amazing. He's running a paid community for e-commerce people, and his nickname is Silent Jim. He is a legit expert, but still, when it comes to his paid community, he really focuses a lot on that silent part, Silent Jim. So he's kind of oftentimes in the background. He's not the expert in the center of the community and everything revolves around him. No, that was not the way he was putting it up. The community, a bunch of people were giving advice to each other, interacting, stuff like that. And don't forget to look outside of your passion. Jim talked about that as well in the interview, that following your passion when it comes to business can be really harmful and unproductive advice. You should focus on, and it could be selfish also to focus on your own passion. If you focus on serving people, solving problems, providing value, if you look at it that way, you can discover new niches and ideas for paid communities out there where it can be a lot more valuable, less competition, and also what I'm getting to, when you do it that way, it can also be a lot easier to manage, because if you do it, if you focus on your own passion, I think it has a tendency to kind of be revolving around yourself a little bit, where you kind of where people have a tendency to take on some of that teaching role, and it doesn't necessarily have to be anything wrong about it, but I think it might trap them in to a niche they don't have to be in. And once they do it that way, it can become a lot like an online course, and then it would require a lot more time and resources to manage and run that paid community. Whereas if you choose the right niche or category to build your paid community in, the community itself will be the value. The access to other members, just being a member, will be a lot of the main value, and it will be that way. It will be a lot easier to manage. So yeah, who knows? A paid community might be your ultimate escape plan. But anyway, if you want to check out those real life success stories, as well as connect with a bunch of other people that are building paid communities, you should check out my online education and community platform, terrific30.com, or yeah, communitycashcows.com. All right. Take care. God bless.